Good evening. This is Linda from Heartbeats of Love 2019. I'm going to take a few moments and let some folks sign on. We are starting at 7 p.m. Hi, Jerry. Welcome, my friend. So I hear you're having some chilly weather. Me too. Oh. Hi, Heather. Welcome to meet you. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you coming on. We're just going to give it a few minutes here as I totally mess up. There we go. I'm such a techie. It's just amazing. I'm looking forward to this evening. It should be pretty exciting. Hi, Rosanna. How are you? Yes, Jerry, very cold. Very cold. It's supposed to get back down in the single digits tonight. I'm glad I have heat. A friend of mine in Oklahoma, they're in the middle of an ice storm, and I think they just got power back on. So it's pretty bad out there with the weather. So let me explain to some of you if this is your first time here. Hi, Beanie. How are you, my love? Um, Wanted to take a few moments and just tell you a little bit about Heartbeats of Love. Heartbeats of Love, I started back in 2019. I finally decided to utilize the gifts that Spirit. No, I did not get that, Rosanna. Why don't you private message me after the live feed, and private message me. That's kind of strange. I'll have to figure out what happened with that. Um, so, Heartbeats of Love. Well, took several years, a long time for me to get to this point. I had decided to ignore my gifts and not talk to animals. And I met Mo the service dog, and he, as you'll see, he's on my website. Um, he's pretty much all over. he's my he's my buddy, and Beanie, who's on the live feed, she says I'm allowed to use her name. I met with her, oh gosh, about a year and a half or so ago. Shared with her what some of my gifts were and the challenges that I was facing and not wanting to come out and do that. So she, of course, encouraged me. Mo had been trying for several months to speak to me. Hi, Dolly. So glad you joined. And Mo had started talking to me or trying to talk to me, and I ignored him and I ignored him and I ignored him. And finally, I met and had coffee with Beanie, and I looked at her and I said very quietly, I said, I want to tell you something. And she said, okay, what's that? And I said, well, Mo's been talking to me and I've been ignoring him. And it was like, oh, okay, interesting. And I started to explain to her more. And of course, one of the first things she was concerned, was what in the heck was Mo talking to me about? Don't worry, everything your pets tell me is always from a place of love. They're not going to tell me anything not so good. And so I shared with her and told her, and talked to her about what Mo had been telling me for months, and Mo was very excited because I was finally talking to him. And from that point on, I decided that I would live with my gift, live with the gifts that I have been given. And it's amazing how spirit walks you through. It's amazing how spirit walks you through so that, you know, as you start to come into yourself or into your powers and understand where you're supposed to be going with it, they help you and they guide you and they put people in your path that will assist you and encourage you and become your tribe. And so, one of the things that I was led to do was these live feeds. And the reason for these live feeds is to allow folks to come on and get a 2 or 3 minute um, communication session, whatever you want to talk about, and to give some credibility to what your pets or your family members that have passed are trying to share with you. So I found it, that it was great because it allowed me to become stronger and to live in the truth of my gifts by having these live feeds. So, that being said, these live feeds are for folks who maybe you're skeptic, maybe you're not quite sure if I can get messages from your loved ones or your fur babies, and that's okay. Remember, I was skeptical too in the very far beginning until Spirit started helping me and put people in my life to help me, or fur babies in my life like Mo. So, that being said, on these feeds, what I want to do is new people that join us take 1 or 2 questions and see if I can answer those questions. Um, I would strongly encourage you. Hi, Eduardo. How are you, Eduardo? So, as I was saying, as I speak to loved ones and your pets, I would encourage you if perhaps, hi, Laura, if you'd like, go to my website, check it out, follow my Facebook page. On my website, I tell you what kind of sessions I do, what those services cost, and how I can help you with that. And then you can email me, message me. You can also get my contact information off of Facebook, which can also help. And you can reach me through that. And we'll take it from there. So again, these are simply the live feeds are to talk about who I am, how I can work with you, the things that I can do, and kind of build up an encouragement. Sometimes I have deceased people who come here without being asked, which is always very exciting for me. Pets. And my gifts are developing further into identifying intuitively people's intentions, that sort of thing. So feel free, if this is your first time on, if you have a question or you would like for me to speak to somebody on your behalf or see if they are here to communicate with you, feel free to reach out. Just send me a little message here, and I will do, as will Spirit, we'll do our very best. So, Heather, let's see. At 2:11 p.m. today, my dog started to bark with his hair up. I haven't seen this behavior before. I got goosebumps. Beanie had goosebumps several hours later. I asked my son to check out my bedroom, and he had goosebumps, and I did too. So much so that we could see it through my leggings. Interesting. Okay, so, you know, animals are very sensitive to spirit. Okay. Um, and Laura, I'll be with you as soon as I'm through with Christy, okay? Or Heather. As soon as I'm through with Heather. Okay. My father passed in January, really hard needing for him. He passed very hard transition. Okay. Alrighty. So, Heather, your dog was responding the way um, he was because he could sense another presence in your room. And as we get closer to October 31st, the veil between the realms is thinning. So you will feel, and the spirits on the other side will be able to come through more to where you can feel them more. And I'm assuming that while you got goosebumps, it wasn't a bad feeling. And I don't get any negative, bad feeling at all. Heather, what I feel was a curiosity. The individual, yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a curiosity, wanting to kind of check it out. It could have been, let me see if I can get them. This person is being kind of evasive, kind of shy. Let me see. I can tell it's a male figure. An older male figure. And I just love it when they show me these things because sometimes I feel like, okay, he's wearing a hat, kind of like it looks to me to be a baseball hat. Okay, he's saying that, yeah. Okay, so was your father, this is going to sound silly, was your father into sports? Okay, there we go. Now I know why I see the baseball hat. Okay. See, and sometimes in the beginning I had a hard time sharing these things with people because um, it just seemed kind of odd. Here I'm seeing an older man with a baseball hat on. So, which is kind of cool. So, yes, it was your father. You said you've been asking to see him. or you wanted to talk to him, you had something to say. So because the veil was thinning, he was able to get through. Okay, so I will tell him that you forgive him. And he knows you can say it to him. He's listening right now, Heather. Yeah, just tell him out loud, Heather. Say it out loud. Say what's in your heart. Say what's in your heart. He loves you too, Heather, very, very much. He said he may not have been the best father. He made mistakes. He's sorry for that. And he's so happy in his heart that you forgive him. Know that he is there for you. Yeah, you're safe and he can rest. Yes. Yeah, he has a real peaceful feeling in his heart right now. Very, very peaceful. He's very content. So I hope that helps. Yeah, he was a pretty tough cookie. Pretty tough cookie. And he did the best that he could with what he who he was and what he had available. I hope that helps you with a little bit of closure. Okay. If you would like a more detailed session, feel free to request one and we can work that out. Laura, are you still on? I'm going to move on to Laura now, Heather. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. Laura, are you still here? We'll give a few moments and see if Laura is still on. Heather, I'm so glad you feel good. I'm so glad. And Rosanna, let's make sure we hook up after the live feed. I apologize that I didn't get your email. So, Laura, are you still here or did you leave? Okay, I'm assuming Laura left. I'm not seeing any. Oh, Laura says she lost you, but she's trying to connect. Okay, we'll give it a few moments. Laura, as soon as you get on. So, as I was saying, I'll share a little bit while we wait for Laura. Mo and I and Beanie Man, his mom, his owner, we're writing a book. It should be a lot of fun. You did a lot of wonderful things. Mo is really great. Um, the book is being written from his perspective on a dog's um, purpose. All dogs have purpose. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll keep you posted. If you watch the Facebook page, you will be able to see, and I'll keep you updated on the status of the book. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. And if you go to my website, you'll also see a picture of Mo with me on one of the pages. Okay, so let me see here. Well, Laura wanted to know if I hear from Toby or her dad. I wonder if Toby likes my new puppy. Yeah, the book will be a lot of fun, Jerry. It'll be a lot of fun. Um, Mo tends to have very strong opinions about things, and he feels very strongly that all dogs have purpose, all pets have purpose. And he's quite a character and wanted everybody to know what he thought. So that'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. I know a lot of books have been written about dogs, but not from the dog's perspective because, um, on average, people don't talk to dogs to get their opinion. So I was able to talk to Mo, and he dictated the things that he wanted in the book and shared his opinion. So it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully, I was able to answer everybody's questions and what you were looking for tonight. Be aware that as you get closer to October 31st, this is going to be our second full moon for the month, and you may be feeling a little bit more sensitive or feel like departed loved ones are there or pets that you've lost are there. You might think about somebody who you haven't thought about in a long time, and all of a sudden you feel very drawn to them. You feel very close and you think about them more frequently than you used to. So, those are the kind of things that you can expect. A lot of times, our world right now is kind of scattered. Lots of things are going on, and our loved ones on the other side of the veil want us to know that they are there, that they see what is happening in our lives, and you can talk to them, that they're there to listen. And as you get more open, you will hear them, you will feel them, you'll get a sense of their spirit, their purpose. And that is so important. So, does anybody else have any questions you want to ask? I doesn't look. Oh, can you connect with? Okay, Laura's back. Okay, Laura, I'm so glad you're back. Eduardo, if I have time, okay? But let me get to Laura because it's her first time here. So, Laura, Toby, I'm getting kind of not real tall, but good height, thin, lanky, mid-20s, maybe early 30s. Toby is kind of laid back. Is Toby a relative, Laura? Okay, so who's Toby, Laura? Your golden retriever. Well, I've got a guy here named Toby. Okay, interesting. Well, let me tell Toby that. Wow, that's interesting. This Toby is insisting he knows somebody. Does anybody on this call know anybody named Toby? If not, I'm going to tell him he needs to leave. Okay, give me just a moment. I'm going to ask him to leave. Okay. You lost a baby? Possibly? Was the baby a male, Laura? And did you name the baby Toby? Yeah, I don't get the feeling that this Toby has somebody on this call. I think he was hoping somebody was on this live feed. But I don't think there's any relation there, Laura. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any correlation there, Laura. I'm not feeling, Laura, anything from the retriever, the golden retriever. Okay, let me see if I can get the dad. What was your dad's name? Okay. So is Ron the spirit that I talked to last week for Eduardo? Because I allow the spirit to come through once for people on the live feeds. Okay, okay. So I would encourage you. All right, Eduardo. So in order to be fair to everybody, I allow. Okay, okay. I do one. I allow one spirit per person to come through on these live feeds because they're only for a half hour. Okay. So if there's more information that you want, you would need to go to my website or to Facebook page and correspond with me and book a session. If I don't hear from you, then I'm not able to help you, but I would love to do that. But right now, I'm going to say good night because it's 7:33, and I tried very, very hard to stay on schedule for my live feeds because I recognize everybody's time is valuable. And I'm blessed when everything and everybody and spirit allows me to help. And I want to say thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a blessed week. And I encourage you to reach out. I love to do sessions with people. So check it out on my website. And I hope you all have a fantastic week. Thank you very much. And Spirit says good night. Bye bye now.